Hey there, thanks for showing up today. I know this isn't exactly the most exciting thing you could be doing, but trust me, we're going to make this session both useful and relatable. We're here to talk about something serious, breaking the cycle of violence. But that doesn't mean we have to be all doom and gloom about it. We're going to have some real talk, share some laughs, and learn some skills that can change lives. Starting with yours. Let's face it, life gets messy. Relationships are complicated. Sometimes tempers flare, and before you know it, you've said or done something you regret. Sound familiar? The goal today is to give you a set of tools you can use when things get heated. Tools that will help you step back, stay in control, and choose a better way to handle conflict. Ready? Let's dive in. First, let's talk about why these skills are so important. When people get into conflicts, especially in close relationships, things can escalate quickly. Maybe your partner says something that hits a nerve, or maybe you've had a tough day, and the smallest thing sets you off. For some of us, the default response has been to react with anger or control, to yell, to intimidate, or worse. It might feel like that's the only way to get respect or make things go your way. But here's the deal. Violence and control don't actually solve the problem. Sure, they might give you a temporary sense of power, but in the long run, they hurt your relationships, your self-respect, and even your own sense of peace. The good news? You have the power to choose a different path. And that's what today's session is all about, giving you real options. Let's kick things off with emotional awareness. Think of this as your personal radar system. When something triggers you, whether it's a snide comment, a frustrating situation, or just a bad day, your emotions send out signals. Your job? Pick up on those signals before they take over. Why it matters. Imagine you're driving a car, and the dashboard warning light comes on. Ignoring it might lead to a breakdown. Your emotions are like that warning light. They're telling you, hey, something's going on here, pay attention. When you ignore your emotions, they can build up until you explode, and that's when bad decisions happen. How it helps. By becoming aware of your emotions, you can catch yourself before you lose control. You can name what you're feeling, frustration, hurt, embarrassment, and once you name it, you can start to manage it. How to use it. Here's a quick exercise. The next time you feel anger rising, pause and do a quick check-in. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Frustration? Hurt? Where do I feel it in my body? Tight chest, clenched fists? What thoughts are running through my mind? They don't respect me, I'm not being heard. Just taking a moment to do this can help you step out of autopilot mode and take back control. Now let's talk about stepping back. This is your go-to move when things start to heat up. Think of it like calling a timeout in a game. It's not about avoiding the issue, it's about giving yourself space to cool down so you can handle things in a better way. Why it matters. When emotions are high, logic tends to fly out the window. Stepping back gives you a chance to reset. It prevents you from saying or doing something in the heat of the moment that you'll regret later. How it helps. It breaks the cycle of escalation. Instead of reacting with anger and escalating the conflict, you're choosing to pause. That's powerful. How to use it. Next time you're in a heated moment, say something like, I need a moment to cool down. Let's talk about this in a bit. Then step away, take a walk, breathe deeply, or do something that helps you calm down. When you come back, you'll be in a better place to have a constructive conversation. Pro tip. You can even plan this ahead of time with your partner. Agree on a signal or phrase that means I need to step back. That way they'll know you're not walking away forever. You're just taking a moment to regroup. Finally, let's talk about assertive communication. This skill is all about expressing yourself clearly and respectfully. It's the opposite of aggressive communication, which tries to dominate, and passive communication, which avoids the issue. Why it matters. Assertive communication helps you stand up for yourself without resorting to anger or control. It shows respect for both yourself and the other person, and when done well, it can actually strengthen your relationships. How it helps. When you communicate assertively, you're more likely to be heard and respected. You're also less likely to escalate the conflict because you're not attacking or blaming, you're simply expressing your feelings and needs. How to use it. The key to assertive communication is using I statements. Instead of saying, you never listen to me, which sounds like an attack, try something like, I feel frustrated when I'm not heard because I want to feel understood. See the difference? One invites defensiveness, the other invites dialogue. Here's a formula you can use. When you, specific behavior, I feel emotion, because reason. I would appreciate it if you could, specific request. Example. When you interrupt me during meetings, I feel frustrated because I want to contribute. I would appreciate it if you could let me finish before responding. Putting it all together, breaking the cycle. So how do these skills help break the cycle of violence? It comes down to choice. Every time you feel triggered, you have a choice. You can react the way you always have, with anger, control, or violence, or you can choose a different path. By using emotional awareness, stepping back, and communicating assertively, you're choosing to respond rather than react. You're choosing to be in control of yourself, not the other person. Breaking the cycle isn't easy, but it's possible. And it starts with small, consistent changes. The more you practice these skills, the easier they become. Over time, they can become your new default, your new way of handling conflict, your personal action plan. Before we wrap up, take a moment to think about your personal action plan. What's one situation in your life where you could use these skills? How will you practice emotional awareness, stepping back, and assertive communication in that situation? Write it down, commit to trying it out. And remember, it's okay if you don't get it perfect the first time. Change takes practice. Final thought, you don't have to be trapped by old patterns. You have the power to choose a different way. And every time you choose to stay calm, step back, or speak assertively, you're not just breaking the cycle. You're building a better future for yourself and the people you care about. Thanks for being here today. Now let's start practicing those skills. You've got this. For more videos like this, coping skills, audio shorts, blogs, workbooks, and other free tools to help you on your journey, visit Dr. Rick at BreakingChaosBuildingClarity.com and at Dr. Rick's Chaos to Clarity on YouTube. Your journey starts now.